Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks for winning more gunfights in Fortnite Battle Royale. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So the first tip that I have for you is to build cover, whether that be to build a small base when being attacked or to ramp rush your enemy. Now generally I wouldn't recommend doing one over the other. I think they're both very good strategies. But if you wanted to choose one, I highly recommend judging the player that you're going up against. Let's say for the sake of the video, it's a one-on-one combat situation where you're both on flat ground and you both see each other. Generally, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pay attention to what this guy has on. If he has a Black Knight costume on, as of right now, that is the Max Battle Pass costume, I know that this guy has played the game a significant amount and has an idea of what he's doing. He's most likely not going to be a bad player if he's got the Black Knight costume. So depending on what he's wearing, I'll try to judge how good they are based on that. I'll also try to notice their building skills and how good they are at aiming. But generally building is the easier way to determine if someone's good at the game. If they build very quickly and they get a small base up, or they start building ramps and walls really quick when you start shooting at them and jumping around, there's a good chance that they're good at the game and they know what they're doing. However, if you start shooting at someone and they're really slow to turn around, they take a while to get a wall down, or they take a while to build a little base, there's a good chance that they're not going to be as good of a player, and then that's when I would ramp rush. So if it is someone that's going to be good, if it's someone that I can tell knows what they're doing and might be better than me, I'm probably going to stay where I'm at and build a small base and fight from that base. However, like I said, if I notice that the player seems to be underqualified to go up against me, I'm probably going to ramp rush, knowing that they're not as a skilled player, and it should be kind of an easier kill. So overall, the tip is to build cover, again, whether that be to build a small base or to ramp rush. The second tip that I have for you is to create the better position, have the higher ground at all times, if that means you have to build the higher ground. So many times people will get in gunfights where the enemy is at the top of the hill and they are at the bottom of the hill, and no matter how much you build, it doesn't matter how good you are at Fortnite, you're always going to be at a disadvantage if you're at the bottom of a hill and someone else is at the top of the hill, unless they don't have a gun whatsoever. So try to create the better position. One thing that you can do when someone starts shooting at you from the top of a hill or elevated location on the map, what I generally tend to do, instead of just building a base and hiding and waiting it out for me to poke up and try to shoot back, I'll try to work my way to a better position, working either my way up the hill or away from the guy, forcing him to come down the hill. So if someone's like, if there's a lot of flat land behind me and the circle's behind me and I'm not fearing getting stuck in the storm, one thing I might do is start building walls and running backwards and trying to pull the enemy towards me so that I'm pulling him down to my level to make it easier for the one-on-one. I don't want to put myself in a really crappy situation where all he has to do is throw a grenade or two and then I'm screwed. So I'll either push around the hill, try to get up the hill that he's on, or I will pull away and try to get that guy to come towards me. A lot of the time, believe it or not, people will come after you. That's generally how people play the game. A lot of people don't see one guy run away and think, all right, yeah, just let him go. They always want to chase that guy down. So don't be afraid to move backwards and kind of bait the enemy. Pretend like you're running away, but run a distance and then post up and wait for them to come towards you. The final tip that I have for you is to eliminate automatic fire unless destroying a base. This is something that I never really struggled with until the last couple of months. So if you don't understand what I mean by automatic fire, I mean holding down the trigger or the button, whatever you're playing on, whether it be console or PC. I notice that a lot of people will hold down the trigger and just let the gun do the shooting, and all you have to do is aim, which I find to be very difficult and a lot more challenging to get kills and to hit more shots and to conserve ammo as to when you're just manually pulling the trigger. And this is something I feel qualified to talk about because I've done both of these a lot. I always used to just pull the trigger manually, not really understanding that the gun was automatic. All I had to do was hold down the trigger. And then when someone pointed it out to me, I started doing it, and I was like, you know, this is cool, but I started to do worse in the game. I noticed that I wasn't doing as good as I was when I was manually pulling the trigger. So I went back to it and I started doing good again. And then recently I went back to holding down the trigger and I started sucking again. So I think personally this may just be a person by person basis, but for me, holding down the trigger and letting the gun do the shooting is just, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's a lot easier, and I feel like you're a much better player if you manually pull the trigger. You save a lot more ammo and you're gonna hit a lot more shots. So eliminate automatic fire unless, like I said, destroying a base. If you're going to shoot down a wall to make the enemy show himself, then of course you can just hold down the trigger because you're not really aiming for anything except a wall. but try to eliminate that automatic fire. You'll notice a huge difference if that's something that you already do in the game. But anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you guys did enjoy some of these tips. If you guys have anything else to add, make sure to leave it down in the comments section below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.